Welcome back to the KR Daily Transmission. So happy to be here with you. Good morning. We're starting a little bit later today. Yesterday was such a big deal with the Magdalene Rising ceremony. It took me a while to get to sleep last night because I was so amped on that energy, channeling the Order of Magdalena. And thank you so much to everyone who joined us live. And for those of you who are going to be joining us on the replay, oh my God, look out for that fire in your inbox coming soon. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. I think that was one of my most favorite community ceremonies that we've ever done. I really wasn't expecting to be that fiery at the beginning, but it felt really good. Hi! I love reading your reflections in the chat. So today we're not going to be focusing on any new teachings. Today is about community reflection and integration, because that ceremony blew the lid off of reality for all of us. And yeah, it was really, I love seeing some of the comments coming in, saying the same thing. And so we're here to have a community dialogue and to continue to bask in that Magdalene Rising energy that we activated together as a community. And your replay email, which will be going out very soon, you're going to be receiving some amazing exclusive offers. And if you weren't able to enroll in the ceremony, maybe you didn't think you could participate in it because it was a live broadcast, you can absolutely still purchase the replay and get those exclusive offers when the replay email goes out. We had so many people attending live from France as well, which blew the doors open in my heart, because everyone knows how connected I am to Joan and Magdalene and how much I'm in love with Paris. And I got to make an incredibly exciting announcement that I'm going to be in Paris, in France, for a good part of June. We are producing a book signing and evening presentation, and even possibly a VIP leadership training immersive for our European Sophia Circle leaders. We weren't expecting any of this to happen, and we know how much our European Sophia Circle leaders and really our entire European community has gone through so much over the past 2 years of global programming and oppression. And so we are going to be creating an opportunity to touch in with you. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to our team angels that are here in the chat, or on my website at kaira.com. If you'd like to be put on the waiting list for that announcement of our book signing that's happening in France this June, reach out to us and we'll see you either in Paris or a city close to Paris. We're still looking for the venue. Please send your prayers for us to find this venue as quickly as possible. This was a very last minute decision, but I actually had a vision of this about 4 months ago. You all know that I believe in everybody's medical freedom, your choice to decide what's right for you. But I personally would never, personally from myself, go through what I can't even say it out loud. Like, that's how much I was like shadow banned and censored for talking. And this is, so I think you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't do the mandates to go into France, and I would never in a million years do an event, even if I could get to France without dealing with all of that. I would never be able to live if somebody made a medical decision to see me live. That's unacceptable to me. So at this red hot moment, because there are elections that are about to happen in France, isn't that interesting? All mandates dropped over an election. That's weird. Uh, so we're going to use that window to come and be with our beautiful community in Europe. If you are anywhere near France in June and you want to see us live, come meet me and some of my team angels in France. I am so excited to get to connect with you live and to channel on that French soil again. It truly changed my life to be there 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. Hey, so good to see everyone coming on. So yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, well, how y'all doing this morning? I would love to read what's coming up for you, what happened for you in ceremony. I mean, we went on a super multidimensional guided meditation with those higher self activations. Feel free to share your feedback, any thoughts or questions or reflections that you would like me to read out loud, and we're going to have a conversation together this morning. Mindy is sharing, oh my gosh, yesterday was so powerful, fascinating, and wonderful. I can tell I'm standing taller. So much to integrate. Oh, I love that you're sharing how you're feeling like you're standing taller, Mindy. That's how I feel today, too, actually. That alignment of that straight spine with that sword activation we received from Joan of Arc, and our angel wings receiving that crystalline light body of that next level Sophia Dragon, golden dragon light body activation. I just felt like I just slipped into like spiritual armor from the future. If you felt that, feel free to share in the chat what it felt like for you, or just put a yes or yeah, that was how it felt for me too. Pauline is writing in, my crown chakra was so activated. I was shocked by how powerful the experience was. I didn't know if I would faint. I love that, Pauline. Well, thank you for staying present to these higher self activations and not fainting. That makes me feel really happy. But it does speak to how powerful the currents were for yesterday's transmission. And it was so funny. I just kept feeling into everyone receiving across, the world while we were going live. We actually had an enormous amount of people there live. Usually about half of the people that sign up show up, and we definitely had over half. It was awesome to see how many people made it a point to show up live to the Magdalene Rising ceremony. And we were getting feedback from all over the world that people were having that same experience that you were, almost passing out from the transmission. And I think what that speaks to is how ready we are to be in our power now, how ready we are to accept the truth of our sovereign divinity and to accept our creative sovereign power to birth a new paradigm. It's extremely exciting. Marisol is writing in and they're saying, I'm tired today also, but the ceremony was so profound. I had lots of insights and eye-opening insights on codependency that I haven't realized that were in my family. I know this will help me in being a stronger mom. Marisol, that makes me so happy. Like, I'm bringing my hand to my heart for a reason. I'm deeply touched by your reflections. Any mother that's committed to being in sovereignty with their children and their partners and their extended family, you are raising the bar for the future of your children. You are raising the bar for creating that sacred space for yourself and your life. And you are embodying an example of divinity that everyone in your family is going to benefit from. Like, the mother is truly, she's like the hub of the whole family structure. If the mother is deeply embodying her sovereignty, the partner or the husband and the children and even the extended family, they orbit that divine feminine embodiment that's literally planted like a sword with her wings up in the ground. The sword planted in the ground with her wings up, as that kind of the center of the family's universe. So every time, Marisol, you choose your sovereignty, you are transmitting that sovereignty to your children, to your partners, to your extended family members, even to your neighbors and your coworkers. And your life as a result continues to expand and heal. And yes, it is extremely tiring looking at codependent patterns. Thank you for your honesty. There are days where facing how to clear codependency can feel like going to the gym. You don't necessarily want to go to the gym and lift those weights, but when you leave the gym, you feel like a rock star. You're like, yeah, my day is always going to be better after I work out. So thanks for lifting those spiritual weights and really taking a look at that dynamic in your family that's ready to shift, or you wouldn't be seeing it right now. Congratulations. We're celebrating you. If you have some celebration words for Marisol, thanking her for choosing her sovereignty as a mother, the center of her family's universe, feel free to share how much you're supporting. Our beautiful community member Marisol. Shirley is writing in, I was so grateful to be in the presence of powerful Isis and Hathor. It felt like I was home. Oh my God, that feels so good to hear that. Thank you, Shirley, for writing that in. I have to say, that was one of my favorite moments when we landed in super duper ancient Egypt, not what people think is ancient Egypt, but way back, like a couple 100,000 years back. And we got to witness Hathor and all of her glory and all of the Hathors that were co-creating this, honestly, mystery school movement that had, expanded halfway across the globe and was doing interstellar missions between Sirius and Earth. I mean, to watch Hathor standing there leading the ceremonies that we read about in the Sophia Code, and for all of our community, there were so many people I got to see through my third eye showing up. Literally, we all time traveled back to that time with Hathor, and then they were waiting for us to receive us in ceremony. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is happening. This is so great. Because I don't know how it's all going to go down. Like, I can future track the vision of what they're showing me of what to do, almost like getting your flight, like your flight instructions, like fly the spaceship here. Then we're going to go to this destination and make sure you get an altitude this level and hit that wormhole, and come on down to France at the end of the journey. And that's exactly what we did. We went back to ancient Egypt. We traveled with the Essenes into their world, and then on to France we went with Mary and Magdalene. It was just so powerful, and to witness, like, yeah, this is where the Magdalene lineage really has some massive roots. It was ancient Egypt, and our beloved Hathor and Isis, Ascended Master, Key Code teachers in the Sophia Code, they're a big part of the Magdalene rising lineage. I mean, both the Marys were highly trained initiates in Egyptian mystery school teachings. So I'm celebrating that moment with you, Shirley. Who else loves seeing Isis and Hathor? Feel free to share in the chat who you feel more drawn to mentor with right now. Is it Isis or Hathor? Very often, if you haven't really connected with Hathor yet, it's because you're still mentoring with Isis to get ready to mentor with Hathor. Let's see. Sophia is sharing that something happened that so that she couldn't attend live. But instead, what happened was a huge breakthrough when I set life-changing boundaries for my existence. I am ready to catch the replay now. Oh my God, congratulations, Sophia. We talked so much about discernment and creating safe boundaries that honor the sacredness of our life. So you were literally living the ceremony as we were in ceremony. And then you get to have that next level activation, because when you commit to a ceremony, whether you're standing there or not, you're in the ceremony. So whatever you were receiving from the transmission was supporting you in real time in your life. And now you get to actually participate consciously in the ceremony. I'm just so excited for you. I'm celebrating those breakthroughs with you. And, that's living this work at the deepest core of your being. Awesome. Thanks for the share. Taryn is sharing. Taryn's one of our team angels, our beautiful team angel. And she is such a gatekeeper for our community. She's here to welcome you into our community, share how you can become more connected with our Sophia Circle leaders and with one another. She helps all of our attendees going to our live events. She supports our co-creation of travel plans. So feel free to reach out to Taryn and schedule a free Team Angel call if you're interested in coming to Austin, which is our next live event in person. And by the way, we announced yesterday that our limited access virtual conference pass is part of your exclusive offer. We have just launched that option, and I'm really grateful because I know that there's a lot of people that can't attend in person, but now we've managed to manifest a team that's going to help us broadcast our conference, or at least parts of our conference live. So if you have any questions about that, Taryn is going to be there for you, as well as Ashley Phoenix and a few of our other team angels that are happy to get on the phone with you. But I love what Taryn is sharing here. She says, feeling the Holy Family's presence brought tears to my eyes. And she put a little fleur-de-lis in the chat. And I feel the same way. I was pretty emotional. And as an Aquarian, I don't get that emotional. But I got to say, same, Taryn. I had tears in my eyes, especially after, like, to get to feel how happy they were that everyone was so deeply present and connected to these beautiful individuals that sacrifice so much. I think that's also what brought tears to my eyes too, is being able to talk about the crucifixion, being able to talk about like what it was like for their human experience. I think because we've been told these stories through religion for so long that it's almost like these incredible human beings are no longer human in any way to us. And, Mother Mary in the Sophia Code shares, take me off of the pedestals. I can't serve you if you think of me as some worship statue of stone. Isis feels the same way. They all do. They want you to connect heart to heart, eye to eye, wing to wing with them as an equal, as a sovereign equal. They went ahead of us to show us what our ministry and our mission is in this lifetime. That's why I love the Order of Magdalene so much. There's this rich red thread connection, right? Like a soul family connection across space and time. And we tune into the presence of the Holy Family and we feel all the feels that they had showing up to their divine purpose. We realize, we recognize that we can get inside all of our feels, all of our feelings about our divine purpose and still show up to serve just as they did. Whew, all right. Jojo is sharing, I felt so deeply the truth of Jesus and Mother Mary. Mary Magdalene's feelings around the crucifixion and their choice of an angelic mission for all. Personally, I felt fully part of the Magdalene lineage. Thank you, Jojo, for sharing. It's such an honor to be here with you, our fellow Earth Angel. Thank you for recognizing the angelic being that you are, owning the truth that you are a part of this Magdalene lineage. And if you want to celebrate Jojo's declaration as an Earth Angel yourself, as a part of the Order of Magdalena, feel free in the chat to share the love. All right. Let's see. There's so many great comments here. And remember, if you have a question about the ceremony, now's the time to ask. We've got about 5 more minutes that I'm happy to share. Okay, let's go. So Michelle is saying, I'm waiting for the Canadian mandates to be dropped and I would love to travel again. You know what, brothers and sisters, I would really like to say a prayer in this moment for Canada and for every country that's still, using mandates for population control and global programming. Divine Mother of all life, Holy Mother, Holy Father, Source, Sophia, we pray for all of our soul family around the world whose lives are still being disrupted by mandates and extreme measures of population control that do not serve our highest and best good. We call forth the freedom, the civil liberties, and freedoms that every human being deserves to experience in their daily walk here on this planet. We call forth a complete clearing for freedom to be returned to every soul that's ready to walk freely on this planet again, wherever they are directed and guided to travel. We call forth this miracle, these doors and these windows to be opened according to your divine will, which seeks to prosper all in all ways. I trust your divine timing, Holy Mother, and I give thanks that you continue to bring great compassion and ministrations of grace to every soul that is seeking to experience greater freedom and mobility in their life, but is still awaiting their governments to honor the truth of their internal sovereignty with the external freedoms that everyone deserves to live with. I'd also like to take this opportunity with our community to send a prayer once again to all the individuals around the world that are being forcibly locked into their homes because of just the mandates that actually have nothing to do with immunity and have everything to do with, again, population control. I know, Divine Mother, that you're calling us forward into this, into the truth of our sovereign divinity with this sacred text of the Sophia Code, activating the sovereign divinity of humanity. I know that your prayer for our future is so great. Otherwise, we would never have received these teachings. We never would have received the information of our crystalline chromosomes that can be activated for fully embodying our sovereign divinity within our human form. I know that you hear the cries of every single person being locked up or tortured and worse all around the world. And so we pray for every soul that feels trapped in any way today. And we call forth that holy presence of your divine love, your divine light, your Christ consciousness descending to every soul ready to receive your blessings of grace, and for doors to be flung open, for people to feel their freedom from within, and that radiance growing and growing and growing, and bringing people back to the common sense and rebalancing of what can happen when we align with you as our source, and we reclaim the truth of our sovereign divinity from the inside out. And we give thanks for those souls who consciously chose to incarnate their light in some of the darkest places on this planet. And we send all of our love and support from our heart and our angel wings of angels. Let's send some emerald ray healing light as well as violet flame energy to every single soul around the world that deserves to feel the comfort of our soul family supporting them in their mission in extreme circumstances. Yes, I'm feeling our community. That's so beautiful and so powerful. So we witness the vision of this world ascending to a new golden age of miracles, where freedom is honored because humanity is ready to embrace the truth of its sovereignty from the inside out, where we no longer need dark agendas of population control mandates to teach us about our worthiness to be free. We no longer we thank the dark forces that have been oppressing us to discover the truth of our sovereign divinity within, and we choose now to unplug from that matrix of control and to plug into the source of all light and all divine love and all creative power and all creative genius and all prosperity, our source that exists beyond this matrix, beyond this planet, that gives birth to all life, that honors all life, that is the sacredness of life. We plug into our source. We remember and we completely claim our higher self embodiment. We call forth our circle of empowerment. We surround ourselves with our ascended master mentors, our angelic guides and guardians today, and we stand as the Magdalene rising for this planet in every way, knowing that as we radiate our sovereign divinity, we are breaking the chains of slavery on this planet, one self-loving step at a time. Thanks everyone for praying with me for our brothers and sisters around the world. I feel a lot better. Thank you. So I'm just going to read a couple of more comments from yesterday's ceremony. Sorry. I just get moved by the spirit. It's like, sometimes it's like, go to church here with Kaia. Woo! All right. Thanks for rolling with that. We only have so much time, so we got to slide in those prayers, slide in those activations. Whoo! Okay. So Jeannie is sharing, I was curious if you believe that part of the purpose of Christ's crucifixion is to forgive sins. I've been struggling with that as it makes me feel inherently bad. I am really impressed with that question, Jeannie. I'm not going to answer that on this feed, but I received a extremely powerful transmission from Jesus 6 years ago when I was still living at Mount Shasta, and I received like the download of my lifetime regarding that. And it's definitely not for everyone. It would definitely trigger a lot of people. But it brought such an incredible peace to my heart. And so I think that's yet another reason why having a private membership forum, which we're working on to do live broadcasts where I can speak without being censored or shadow banned or dealing with the massive amounts of confusion that can come when speaking about high level spiritual teachings to uninitiated, like random people on YouTube. It's just not appropriate. The transmission I received from Jesus around that whole topic was extraordinary and it completely changed my life and completely freed me from any matrix programming around that event. I really, for the purposes of YouTube Live, what I'd like to share is that there was such freedom in what we talked about in the ceremony yesterday. Ultimately, some of the biggest points that were shared was that, number one, this wasn't a forced experience. This was something that Jesus had agreed to 100%. He was like a living Jedi master that could do spontaneous physical healings instantly and completely in the totality of he was a miracle maker. He willingly let himself be led to Caesar. That so obvious. And again, what we talked about in the ceremony, it's like, what was he demonstrating? What was this incredible Magdalene demonstration? Well, if you look at who he was along with the Marys, we're talking about the full sovereign divine potential being expressed within their humanity. They were in human bodies, okay? Just like you and I. All three of them had activated their divine genome in such a powerful way through their mystery school training and with their own master teachers, just as we're doing right now. And of course, their training was ridiculously rigorous. I mean, mystery school training in ancient times was life or death experiences. But they had achieved such levels of mastery that, Jesus going into that public demonstration was really different than if, people, just some uninitiated, untrained person were to go into a situation like that. And ultimately, he represents our highest human potential, being killed for stepping into your highest human potential. There it is. And in that symbol, what are we talking about? We're talking about humanity has been enslaved and has been tortured and even killed for its highest potential by outside forces that are both demonic and from other parts of the universe for a very long time. And sometimes you have to make a really big dramatic statement, a statement that will last for centuries so that people will mull it over. Maybe I don't want to be a slave in a matrix slave system. Maybe I want to reach into my heart and reach into the spiritual technology of my body and tap into my sovereignty. Maybe if enough people did that together as the Magdalene Rising and we embodied our sovereign divinity together, maybe there would be such a wave of awakening that we could finally let go of the belief systems that humanity deserves to be punished for being divine, that humanity needs to be enslaved to discover its sovereignty. What if we loved ourselves for being divine? What if we walked with freedom to discover the unlimited creative genius of our sovereignty? Blah! What if we unplugged from the weird and plugged into the awesome? I mean, that's where I want to go. How about you? So, of course, that's a lot of kind of chunks of information that are going to make way more sense in the context of ceremony. And thank you for asking that question, and more to come. And so if we could just focus for the time being that this was a public demonstration of what humanity has allowed itself to experience in that space, we can then ponder and reflect upon what do we want to do now differently, not just for our generation, but for generations to come, right? Are we done with the crucifixion of humanity? Are we done with the enslavement of humanity? Are we ready to embrace our interstellar soul family that would never possess or try to control humanity, but is awaiting our free will decision to awaken to how actually powerful and invincible and protected we are when we step into our light? It's big stuff. It's big stuff we're talking about with the Magdalene lineage. When you really start tapping into that Magdalene rising energy, you're like, whoa, this is going to take me to the depths of my soul so that I can raise my wings and fly to the greatest heights. I've had so much fun connecting with you this morning. Thanks everyone for your incredible feedback. If you're watching this on the replay, please share your thoughts about the Magdalene ceremony in the comments. And thank you for liking this video. If you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. If you've been enjoying the KR daily transmissions, feel free to share about how these daily transmissions are supporting you in your very heroic human journey. I really appreciate you sharing these videos with your friends and family that actually would like to watch something like this. And of course, when you add your comments and you like these videos, it really helps support others to explore the Sophia Code teachings for themselves. Thank you again for being in ceremony with me yesterday. I had so much fun with you. If you want to see me in France, get on our waiting list. And of course, keep an eye on their inbox because you're going to get those exclusive offers for participating in our Magdalene Rising ceremony with your video replay. And if you still would like to purchase the Magdalene Rising ceremony, just reach out to my team angels. They'd be happy to help you at kaia.com. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day, everyone, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And we're going to have a really fun Q&A tomorrow. We're going to talk about Austin tomorrow and take your questions about spiritual leadership on YouTube Live. So tomorrow's Q&A, and I'll see y'all back here at Kaia Official. Have a great day, y'all. Love you. Namaste.